Hi, this is Lance with Rive, and I'm going to show you a new feature that lets you perform actions like change view model properties or fire events when a state or a transition begins or ends. So we're going to do it on this little character that when you hover over it, it opens its mouth and shows you the menu, and when you blur, it closes. Now, why might this be useful? We might want to know whether the mouth is open or not, and right now we do have a data value to open and close it, but it doesn't take into consideration the duration of the transition. What we can do is add an action to the end of the transition to say it's not just that the property is open is false, it's that the transition is done and the mouth is actually closed. Let's go to this nested component here, and we are going to fire some triggers when this hover state starts, when this hover state ends, and when the transition to the hover state starts and ends. And I already have a few triggers that I've created just so that we can visualize this. So first, let's add a couple actions to the state itself. You just click on the state and then click this plus button and then add the action that you want to add. So in this case, we're going to do a view model change, and we are going to say on state start, and you can define whether it's start or end here. And we're going to do another one for view model change state end and switch this to end. Now when we click play, now you can see that this state start triggers as soon as I hover over the element. Now, you might expect that because the hover animation is a single shot, that it should fire as soon as the animation is done, but it's not looking for the end of the animation, it's looking for the end of the state, so it only happens when we move our cursor off the element. Let's do the same thing with a transition. The UI is a little bit different because we have conditions and actions on transitions. So we can just go to the Actions tab, click plus, do a view model change, and we will do transition start and another one for transition end. And you can see that when we click play, we've got our two triggers right here. One gets fired as soon as the transition starts, and one gets fired as soon as the transition ends. And what defines the beginning or end of a transition is this right here. It's the duration of the transition. If we set this to 0, you can see that everything would fire all at once.